the end of the day, this government responsible to what happened in the 7th of October. And unfortunately, as I said, no one take any responsibility on this affair, and nobody want to investigate the 7th of October affair. And this is why we are here.
Some observers are now asking whether Netanyahu's political endgame may be unfolding in unexpected ways, and whether Mojtaba may have achieved through pressure and timing what even Khamenei could not openly accomplish. A growing line of speculation suggests that Israel may be showing signs of internal strain even before any direct confrontation with Iran fully ignites, raising questions over whether Mojtaba's perceived strategy has in some ways outmaneuvered Khamenei's more overt posture. Tel Aviv's latest unrest is fueling talk that Netanyahu could be edging toward a serious political crisis, just as the threat of a wider Iran war hangs in the background, creating a moment of exceptional instability. With protest numbers rising and public frustration deepening, some are wondering whether a political earthquake is now brewing in Israel, one that could put Prime Minister Netanyahu on notice in the days ahead. Hundreds of protesters gathered at Habima Square in Tel Aviv on May 2nd in a fresh show of public anger against the Israeli government, highlighting the growing pressure building on the political leadership. The large demonstration erupted as a direct expression of opposition to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, with many participants demanding an end to Israel's continuing military campaign. Demonstrators from several anti-government groups were seen waving Israeli flags and chanting slogans, creating a charged atmosphere that reflected widening domestic discontent. Some protesters even voiced support for Gaza, while others held signs reading "Palestinian Lives Matter," signaling how parts of the movement may be pushing the boundaries of mainstream political dissent in Israel.
In the end of the day, this government responsible to what happened in the 7th of October. And unfortunately, as I said, no one take any responsibility on this affair, and nobody want to investigate the 7th of October affair. And this is why we are here. I mean, this is a crisis that never happened in Israel. More than 2,000 people were killed.
Even though we are despaired and we are tired and we come here like every week, we still want to believe in a better future. We still want to be protected in our country, and we still want peace and have justice for all, even after October 7th. We want to know the truth, we want to know who is at fault, and we want to have a correction to the strategy we had.
We are basically thinking that, and claiming that whatever is happening here today is a result of years and years of occupation, which under this awful government is deteriorating seriously. And the situation in the West Bank is just unbearable, unthinkable. We are Israel and the settlers are practicing actions that are similar to the worst that you can think of. They are just coming on a daily basis and getting into houses of Palestinians, stealing things. From time to time, they also kill a kid that seems like, or just take captive for a whole day, a kid or a man. What we do is actually standing to remind everybody that what needs to be done is withdrawal from the West Bank, from Gaza, from the Palestinian areas, and just living here with the other people, the Palestinian people.
The protest was organized by the Movement for Quality Government, a group that has also submitted an anti-government petition, indicating that the agitation is moving beyond the streets and into formal political challenge. The group is reportedly seeking changes related to military service, including demands tied to the exemption of ultra-Orthodox or Haredi men from mandatory conscription, an issue that remains deeply divisive in Israeli politics. Protesters and organizers are also demanding a state commission of inquiry into the Hamas-led October 7th attacks, underscoring the continued public demand for accountability over one of Israel's darkest security failures. The latest demonstration appears to be part of a wider wave of anti-government protests spreading across the country, suggesting that public frustration is not isolated to a single city or issue. That unrest is being driven by prolonged anger over Netanyahu's leadership his policies, and growing calls for fresh elections, all of which are now feeding a broader political crisis. The protest came even as the Israeli military continued its campaign against Hezbollah despite a US-mediated truce, adding another layer of tension to an already volatile national mood. Hezbollah claimed it carried out 9 separate operations targeting Israeli troops on May 1st, according to reports on the latest cross-border fighting. Al Jazeera reported that Israeli forces were targeted both inside Lebanese territory and in northern Israel, underscoring the breadth of the day's attacks. Israel and Hezbollah continued trading fire despite a US-mediated ceasefire remaining formally in place, highlighting how fragile the truce has become. Amid the renewed attacks, the US Embassy in Beirut called for direct engagement between Israel and Lebanon as Washington tried to push a diplomatic track forward. US Embassy in Beirut said, and I quote, "Lebanon stands at a crossroads. Its people have a historic opportunity to reclaim their country and shape their future as a truly sovereign, independent nation. Direct engagement between Lebanon and Israel, 2 neighboring countries that should have never been at war, can mark the beginning of a national revival. The extended cessation of hostilities, achieved at the personal request of President Trump, has given Lebanon the space and the opportunity to put all of its legitimate demands on the table with the full attention of the United States government." A direct meeting between President Aoun and Prime Minister Netanyahu, facilitated by President Trump, would give Lebanon the chance to secure concrete guarantees on full sovereignty, territorial integrity, secure borders, humanitarian and reconstruction support, and the complete restoration of Lebanese state authority over every inch of its territory, guaranteed by the United States. This is Lebanon's moment to decide its own destiny, one which belongs to all its people. The United States is ready to stand with Lebanon as it seizes this opportunity with confidence and wisdom. The time for hesitation is over. Unquote. Lebanese Parliament Speaker Nabi Berri, a political ally of Hezbollah, responded coolly to the US proposal for talks. Berri said there was no reason to move forward with negotiations as long as Lebanon was still under fire, reflecting Beirut's demand for a real ceasefire before deeper diplomacy. After Hezbollah's attack claims, the Israeli army said it faced a fresh wave of drone attacks launched from Lebanon. The IDF said Hezbollah fired at least 4 drones toward northern Israel, according to reporting cited by the Times of Israel. The Israeli Air Force said it intercepted 2 drones amid sirens in the Galilee Panhandle and the Golan Heights. The Israeli military further claimed that those drones did not cross into Israeli territory before being shot down. Later, the IDF said 2 more suspected drones launched from Lebanon were also intercepted. The military added that it launched interceptor missiles following alerts warning of possible rocket fire in the Kiryat Shmona area. According to the IDF, the results of some interception attempts were still under review, and in at least one later incident no sirens were sounded. Several people were killed in southern Lebanon as Israeli raids hit multiple towns and villages, according to regional and Lebanese reporting. Al Jazeera reported that the death toll from an Israeli raid on Habash town had risen to 8. In the Nabati area, a child and 2 women were among those killed, according to Al Jazeera's reporting on the strikes. Lebanon's Ministry of Health said 21 people were also wounded, including 2 children and a woman. Additional Israeli attacks on Zrarieh in the Sidon district killed 4 people, according to Al Jazeera and related regional coverage. 1 person was also killed and 7 injured in an Israeli raid on Ain Bal in the Tyre area. The raids came amid an Israeli military force displacement order covering parts of southern Lebanon. Residents of several towns and villages in southern Lebanon were warned to flee northward as the escalation widened. Al Jazeera citing Israeli army said, and I quote, "The latest force displacement order covers Qaqaid al-Jizr, Adshit al-Shakif, Jebchit, Eba, Kfar Juz, Haruf, Al-Duwair, Deir Ez Zarani and Habush." Unquote.